The British pound may have just confirmed another top within this downtrend hours before FOMC. So in today's video, I'm going to show you exactly how I am trading this market, including a target that is over 200 pips away. So be sure to stick around and watch the entire video. So if you're new here, my name is Justin Bennett, Forex trader since 2007, full-time trader since 2011. As always, all of this is my opinion only and not financial advice. So looking at GBPUSD here on the 4-hour time frame, the very first thing that we can notice is that clearly the market has been in a downtrend, and really there's no change to this. Okay, so last week, at the end of last week, we did get a BOS here. So with this close below, this right here on Friday told me that I was only looking for shorts this week. Now, two areas, or really one big area that I was watching for the pound, was really the start of this candle back here on the 4-hour all the way down here to this high. And the reason for that, you can see that this was an imbalance up here, this was an imbalance through here. Now we saw this mitigated through this area, and we've seen this upper one, okay, this buy side imbalance up here mitigated through the last 24 hours. Now we also have FOMC coming up. So I want to say that first of all, because we do have really a very loaded event calendar over the next 48 hours. So that's going to be something to pay attention to with these markets. Expect a lot more volatility over the next 48 hours, especially with everything going on in Iran too, which is also heating up. But that aside, guys, all I trade is the charts. I'm aware of what's on the calendar, but all I trade is what is on the chart. And right now, again, we do have a downtrend here for GBPUSD. No change to that. As long as we are below this high up here, then I am only looking for shorts. Okay, so you can see this is our external high up here. We had the BOS at the end of last week. So again, that told me that this rally right here this week was likely to fail. And sure enough, here on the lower time frames, we did get a shift here over the past 24 hours as well. Now, if you guys want to learn exactly how I trade SMC full time, check out the link right here on the screen. That's going to give you access to a completely free SMC course. It's nearly 2 hours of content that you will not find on YouTube, and that shows you exactly how I use SMC to trade full time. So if you don't see that here on the screen, check out the pinned comment below or the description of this video. All right, so looking at the pound, again, we have the market coming back here into this imbalance. So this on the 15-minute chart, this is that imbalance that we just saw on the 4-hour time frame, and you can see where we have mitigated that over the past 24 hours. Now, within this price action too, you can see where we did get an internal shift. Okay, so this right back here, you can see that off of this high, we did get an internal BOS. We're calling this internal because this right here is internal to that overall structure we just saw on the 4-hour time frame. Okay, so internal BOS here, you can see that the lowest point within this BOS is going to be this low right here. Okay, so we did get an internal change of character. Now, this could be enough to confirm that the top is in, because what you'll notice is that this occurs, right? This internal shift occurred right here at the top of this channel as well. Now, channels like this, guys, I don't use this to blindly buy or sell a market. However, it can act as an area of interest, or at least give me more confidence in an area of interest, which is exactly what I did last week with a short that I put on through here. Okay, so that was a 3R trade, which I do announce in Discord. I announce all my trades in Discord. I had 3 trades last week, and all 3 were winners. So this one here, I made right around $10,000 on that one. Again, I do announce all of this in real time in Discord, guys. This isn't hindsight stuff. I'm not just posting this to look good or even cherry picking setups, because I literally haven't had a losing trade so far this month. Not every month is like that. Okay, I want to be clear. But over the past 2 months, my win rate is well over 80%. So I'm not cherry picking these things. This is just what I'm doing, and I share it all in real time in Discord. Okay, so full transparency. So for the pound right now, guys, if you missed this right here, let's talk about that for a second, because one thing here that I do want to point out before we go on to this and talk about this further is what's happening with the DXY. So we can see that on the US dollar index, we have a similar channel off of these lows down here and these highs. And we've talked about this for weeks, okay? Now, the one thing that's a little bit different, though, is that you can see that this low right here for the DXY came nowhere close to the bottom of this channel. Now, it doesn't mean that it has to. I want to be clear about that. There's nothing that says that the market has to just continue to move, you know, nicely within this channel. Okay, and what you'll notice too is that this low right here relative to the bottom of this channel, this low right here was a little bit higher as well. So this could just be an indication that the US dollar is strengthening over the past few weeks. Okay, I want to be clear about that nothing says that we have to come down here in this area. Now, I was interested in this simply because if you go to a daily time frame, what you'll notice is that this right here, okay, so this run up that we saw last week, this candle right here on March 11th this one is what I really wanted to see this week. I really wanted to see the DXY come down here, really mitigate that imbalance that we saw last week on the daily, and then from here potentially get a bottom forming and a continuation of this rally. Now again, it doesn't mean that we have to get this though, and right now I do have my doubts about whether or not we're going to see this, but at the same time, I mean, look, we have FOMC coming up. There's a ton going on right now in the world. I mean, anything can happen, and so I think that right now is the time to really be patient with these markets and just wait for something very convincing to set up, especially with FOMC today. So just like with GBPUSD, we did have the DXY give us an internal shift earlier today. So you can see that on this move lower right through here, we had this low right here. We had an internal BOS below this. And the challenging part, this very, very similar to the pound, the challenging part with this was that this high up here gave us that internal change of character. But the challenging part with this was the fact that this right here was very compressed. Okay, so you can see that how we went from this swing back here. Okay, so swing low, swing high, and then we just got very, very compressed through here, especially through this area. So anytime this happens, it's a little bit more difficult, right? Because you want to see those obvious swings in the market to where you get an obvious change of character. And this just really wasn't the case. It was a little bit too compressed for me. So the way that you can kind of sidestep this and look for something more convincing is really to simply just wait. And again, with FOMC coming up, I think that's not a bad idea. What this is going to come down to though, for the DXY is going to be this high up here, right? Because if you look at this here a little bit more externally, right? So this is internal. If you look a little bit more externally, what you'll notice is that we have this high up here because we have this BOS below this low. Okay, so this right here was our BOS. Okay, so within this downtrend. Okay, so just to kind of map this out here, you can see that this high back here was also a BOS on the way up. Okay, so I want to be clear, this was a bullish BOS. And then off of this low right here, okay, we did have a change of character this week. Okay, so this gave us the change of character. Again, you have to keep in mind though, that all this is within the context of an uptrend. Okay, so this was just a retracement against that larger external trend. So looking here, we have this change of character, right? We have the BOS. And so right now, this right here is your protected high within this structure that we're looking at right now on the hourly. Okay, so I think if you're looking for the more kind of high conviction setup from the US dollar, then really it has to materialize above this high. Okay, now the challenge with that, of course, is that you can see that I have this level marked out as a key monthly level. The reason for that, if we go out here to the monthly, you can see that all of these lows back here, right around 100.8, I do think that this is going to be a critical test for the US dollar. Okay, so that's going to be the challenging part with the US dollar right now, is that, again, if you look at this high up here, if you're waiting for this to confirm, give you that change of character, even if you're buying against this down here in this region, you've got to keep in mind that we have this key area up here, which again also aligns with the top of that channel as well. Okay, so just bear that in mind over the next few days, because this up here could be a critical factor for the DXY. Okay, so all in all, guys, I mean, right now the US dollar still looks bullish. The pound still looks bearish here within this trend. And for the pound, what I think this is going to come down to today, what I'm watching at least, is if you missed this internal shift right here, again, this was very compressed, a little bit difficult to trade through here. So if you missed this, what you can do, and this is what you can do every single time, is look a little more externally. And what I mean by that, just like with the DXY, you can see that this right here was our BOS on the way up. So we had our shift that occurred earlier this week right here. This was all just a retrace against that external trend. So we have our BOS here. We have the low down here. Okay, so this, in my opinion, is going to be the low to watch. So right around 132.70. If we get acceptance below here, then in my opinion, this is likely the top. Okay, now, like everything else, I'm not looking to short this. I don't short breakouts, okay, or breakdowns. So what I would be looking for here is acceptance below this low, and then looking for any buy side imbalances that form to short against those. Okay, now as far as targets, it's pretty easy. We've got this low down here, which could be a first target. However, I do want to show you something here on the 4-hour time frame. In fact, I'm going to go to an 8-hour just to kind of show this a little bit better. But you can see that these lows back here in November, I mean, at this point, guys, within this trend, considering the fact that we have now taken out all of this through here and really gotten a much larger shift occurring for the pound and even the euro, like I talked about over the weekend, these lows down here, in my opinion, are open for business. Okay, so within this trend here, if we were to get a close below this area, like I said, around 132.70, in my opinion, it opens up these lows down here just above 130. So you do the math there, right? You've got well over 200 pips between this area here and this potential target, which could align with the bottom of this channel as well. So there's still a lot of real estate to play with below this low on the hourly. Okay, so one thing to keep in mind here is that a lot of traders will say, well, if I'm waiting for this low to get taken out, then I'm missing out on all of this up here. I'm missing out on this entire move, okay? And yes, that is true. However, you are also sidestepping today's volatility with FOMC coming up. That's a good thing. You're also waiting for a little bit more conviction here, which never a bad thing as well. And you've still got a ton of room here, a ton of real estate to play with between this low down here. Okay, so taking this out down here and then this low, and then of course the bottom of that channel and potentially those November lows just above 1.30. Okay, so for me, this is what I'm watching here this week is going to be this low right around 1.327. Okay, this right here, if we take this out again, like everything else, like I said, I'm just looking for acceptance below here. If we get it, I'm looking to short against any buy side imbalances that develop. Okay, simple as that. Now, of course, if we take out this high, up here and just continue higher, then that could give us something, to short up here if we get some kind of favorable structure. And again, that could align with the DXY coming back here to test the bottom of this channel and also fill in that imbalance closer to 99. Okay, but no guarantees that we get that. And really, look, I mean, the pound would have to take out this high back here. Like I said, this market is bearish as long as this high is intact. Okay, so as long as that's the case, we have this BOS that occurred at the end of last week also intact, which means I am only looking for shorts. But timing is going to be critical, especially with FOMC coming up. But this is how I'm playing it, guys. Right now, missed this right here. Also didn't really feel like trading this because it was so compressed. And also we have FOMC coming up. So right now, all eyes are going to be on this 132.70 low. If we take out this high, I have a new structure up here to evaluate, which I will be doing in real time in Discord as I always do. So keep it locked in here, subscribe to the channel. Also check out that free SMC course right here on the screen because that is going to help you tremendously with your trading. So stay safe out there. Be careful with today's FOMC and I will talk to you again tomorrow.